Hello, welcome to Nana Talk, where voices unite and the community rise. This is a space where we empower the community one talk at a time with real conversations from people from the block. Today we have our guest, Mr. Vernon Quinn from Quality,
All
Quality Electrical Contractors, Inc. All Quality Electrical Contract Construction Inc.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. It's a long name.
Don't worry, we'll get it. We'll get it for us over with.
Yes,
so, Mr. Quinn, how you doing?
Good, Mr. Jones.
Good, man. You know, first I want to apologize for being a little late. My daughter-in-law, she got promoted got promoted to a sergeant with the City of Miami Police Department.
Oh man, that's a blessing.
Yeah, man. You know, and of course it was way in the city. Yeah. And I had to come down US 1.
So the City of Miami?
The City of Miami.
Oh, that's beautiful,
so
it's all
and so my son, Orpheus Pinter, which is a firefighter,
man,
at their ceremony today.
Yeah.
So
that's a special event.
Yeah, that was special. So I couldn't miss that.
No,
right?
No, right? You would have been in the doghouse quite a bit.
No. But I want to thank you for finding time to come and be with me and share some information about your company. Mm-hmm. So let's start off. I usually allow the visitor to start off. Say a little bit about yourself, where you come from, a little bit about your background.
Right. You know, when you asked me to be on the show, I was telling myself like, me? You want me on the show? You know what I'm saying? So I am honored. And, you know, definitely someone may, you know, actually hear it and be empowered and, you know, want to say that, you know, they can do it too. So that's what I try to live my life as an example to empower those who might feel they don't have a way out and more or less to see it. Because as long as we can see it and we can believe it and we can achieve it, you know. So a little about myself. I'm from the Brownsville, Brown Sub, Liberty City area. And I say that because my mother was from Brown Sub, my grandmother from Brown Sub, and actually my father was from Liberty City. So, you know, I had the best of both worlds, you know, growing up. And with that being said, I'm a only child from my mother. My father, I have a sister with her. So, you know, we have a big family, you know, growing up in Miami area. So, with that being said, man, you know, as I went throughout my younger years and, you know, being one of those individuals that growed up in those areas, we, you know, played in the streets. And, you know, I actually took the long way home, but thank God I was able to actually find my way, which I went to a technical program, which was Tools for Change back in like 97. And
so you went through Tools for Change?
Yes, I wound up going through Tools for Change, and that program actually really, really broadened my horizon on other things I can do. You know, I'm from a business family, but going through that program gave me another opportunity to see opportunity in another field, you know, that wasn't just openly available, which was the utility contracting field. And me being an individual that came from a school, growing up in, you know, children at risk type of individual. You know, I came from Miami MacArthur, went there from 9th grade to 12th grade. And so me finding that opportunity, to be able to, you know, to get that trade, it was life-changing.
So you took a class.
Yes.
That was organized by the Black Economic Development doing business as Tools for Change.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
How long was the course?
At the time it was about maybe, I want to say about 8 weeks, you know, no more than about 8 weeks type of course.
So after the course, then what?
So from there, they had like small little jobs that was set up just to get us on the job, introduced to the program. I wind up from, you know, starting out finding, you know, some, you could say quote unquote intern type jobs.
On the job training?
On the job. Well, we had on the job training, but this was the first time like, okay, you guys are finished. Hey guys, we have these individuals in place. You can go there and actually start working, you know, and that's what we did. It was a short time, but from there, I made the connections and we wound up calling around with people that was in that field and got an opportunity, man, that it changed my life. I wound up going to work for a company, and we started to doing work, and from there we just took off. As that project ended, which back in those days was a company named Media One. A lot of people might not know, but it was in South Florida that we was working for Media One. That project was coming to an end, and the guy said, "Man, we don't have any more work." He said, "But if you had your own truck, you could be able to come back to work." And I said, "Oh, really?" So from there, I wound up starting my own business.
So he subbed stuff out to you?
Yes, he wound up subbing work.
And all he required that he said, "Hey, look, if you get a truck,
you get your truck and your
I'll give you some work.
I'll give you some work."
Wow.
A guy by the name of Rich Fuller, him and I are still friends right now today.
So how long ago this was?
So we went to the program, like I say, back in like 97, 98, that time. And so I was working from like 98 to possibly like 2000, something like that, 2099, and then that's when I started my own company.
So let me ask you, what got you interested in it? Was it you didn't have nothing to do and you just saw this class that was available and you took it, or you had interest in doing it before you took the class?
No. Like I said, that we all played, and I was trying to find a different route.
Okay.
And with finding that different route, I was just looking to try to stay busy. A lot of people say that the idle
mind is the devil playground.
So I was just trying to keep it all busy, and that's what it was.
Okay. So now here you are, you get this truck because the guy say, "Hey, look, you get a truck.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll throw you something."
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
And you decided to go on your own.
Right.
Okay.
I talked to a couple of my buddies. "Hey, man, I'm finna do it. Y'all want to come with me?" And they say, "Yeah, we'll come work."
So they worked with you before working with him, or it was just individuals that you knew that you gave opportunity.
A few of us went to the class. It was a guy by the name of James Johnson that was from the neighborhood, and we call him Baloney. And he actually, matter of fact, you might know his sister, Calinthia. That was his sister.
Of course,
yeah,
Calinthia.
Yeah, that was her brother. So he introduced the program to me. And once he told me that, him and I went through the program together, and we met another guy by the name of Dwayne. And from there, we started the business, just us three.
So tell everybody actually what you do.
So I'm a utility, well, I wear many hats, right? But this particular...
You can talk about the many hats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that being said, this particular company, we are a utility contractor. With that being said, we put in FP&L lines underground, where we put the underground conduits in the ground. We do underground conduits for AT&T on some jobs. We also put in fiber optic lines. So we'll put in the underground conduits, the overhead conduits, overhead lines, as well as installing the fiber optic. And I know that may sound foreign to a lot of people, but what it is, it allows us to, which we're doing now, the internet, connection of the internet, the telephone, the cell phones, these are the things that we actually do as a utility contractor.
So do that line of work take you in different cities as well, or you just work in Dade County at a city?
Yeah, so because, it's like when I try to explain it to some people where if you was a contractor or a tile guy, you got in South Florida, we got over 6 million people here. So I would have potentially 6 million customers. But when you're in the utility world, it's only a few people you can work where it would be like a Comcast or a AT&T or the smaller different, we call them MSOs, but they're like different service providers. So in that event, from time to time, especially if it's a disaster, you would have to travel to other areas, other cities. As of right now, we're working in South Florida and in Orlando, Tampa, and occasionally in the Panhandle.
So if you can actually be subbed out to do some work where it's a storm?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, in those emergency situations, they kind of, they're looking to to pretty much get service on the fastest. So they reach out with different, whatever they reach out for whatever the resources they have to come in to contribute to the efforts of the relief of, restoring everyone's service. Because in some situations, or a lot of situations, you got 911 services that's, on those lines, hospitals is on those lines, and as well as people's cell phones is on those lines. So we have to put that city back together.
So let me see if I got this name right. The company name is All Quality Electrical Construction Inc.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All Quality Electrical Construction Inc.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Right.
All right.
That's right.
And so you're the supervisor. I know you're the owner, but your title is managing contractor, or what's your title?
No, I am the owner, but I'm also, like the project manager. And I also have another gentleman that works with me. He pretty much run and handle everything as far as when it comes down to all the aerial and the fiber pulling guys. His name is Lawrence Jones. He's run all of that for us. And then we also have another gentleman by the name of Jason Biku, where he runs all of our underground crews. And he, since we have a big effort in the Tampa and Central Florida area, he's based out of there as well.
Okay. So I understand you do that, but you also develop housing too?
Yeah, so that's the other hat that I actually wear. We had an opportunity some years back. Hadn't been doing that as long as we've been doing the utility work, but I had an opportunity some years back where a buddy of mine came to me and told me that he needed some help financing a project, and he wanted to do a loan. And I was like, well, I'm not a bank. I don't do loans. What I'm saying? So I say, but what I can do is partner up with you and help you build it. So saying that, him and I joined forces, where that we wind up building one of our first houses. That had to be back in like maybe 18 or something like that, maybe 19, give or take. But from there, we've developed and quite a few different homes, but we try to do it with a twist that it looks good and not look like a cookie cutter or something that you would see. Typically, the homes that we build, you normally would see in Coral Gables, Key Biscayne, as far as in the modern look. We try to put a twist to it because it's not expensive. You just got to have a vision to make it look good,
So it'd probably be safe to say that you probably the only person I know that does utility lines underground in the community where I live at.
Right. Yes, sir.
To see a young man of color, that's doing something on that level is amazing to me.
Oh, man.
And I wanted to have you on the show so that you can share that. Because like you said earlier, if you don't see it, if you never seen a car and somebody told you, and you never seen a rock and somebody told you that car was a rock,
right,
you'll believe it was a rock. If you didn't know any better.
If you didn't know any better, yes.
So, but if you have the opportunity to see it,
right,
then maybe you can dream to be it one day. So.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the whole key. And that's like a lot of guys be like, man, I always knew you were going to be a businessman. And, saying that, saying that, it was like, that's how they see me. In my mind, I was like, okay, well, I try to stay as an individual that's always working and always trying, because I come from a business family. And let me start out with that. So saying that, it was a second nature, where that some guys I may say, okay, well, let's go and open up this store and, start a grocery store, someone else be like, how are we supposed to do that? And in my mind, I'm like, what do you mean? It's easy, right. To the sense, when I said it's easy, not easy to do, like the work's not there, but it's easy to do to the sense as far as this is the only way to be able to provide for yourself, In some cases, when you can't get a job, I used to tell myself I got to make a job, and that was some of the things that I kind of went for,
So you grew up in a family that had business opportunity that you watch?
Yeah. So I had a grandfather. I started out on my mom's side. He was a barber. So he had his own barber shop. And, each barber's, even right now today, you go to these barbers, they just rent the chairs, but they're technically their own company, in a sense, their own entity. So, from there, I had grandfather that was on my dad's side of the family, and he was a businessman where he had, it's a local community. A lot of people may know our family business, which is Green and Son. And from there, my dad had his business, which was Mr. V Sportswear. And then I had my uncle who had his business. It was the Q Collection. And I had another uncle that had his business. He used to sell cars. And, it just goes on. And, our family, some of the best time of year, we always tell ourselves we work while other people play and play while other people work, So, some things that we did, while everybody was in the hype of Christmas, we'll be out there selling bikes. We sell toys. We sell fireworks. We sell some of everything.
So the hustle is in you.
Yes.
Because you saw it all your life.
That was the only way, that we knew how to work. It just goes back to, being in school, and, we'll go to the, from the corner store. You be in 5th grade, you go and buy the candy at the local, in our neighborhood was Sutton Grocery. So we'll go to Sutton Grocery, buy up the candy and go and sell it in class, but that was just something that we all did.
So let me ask you, how does it feel waking up in the morning, knowing that you grew up in Brownsville, Brown Sub, Liberty City, in a underserved community of color? It wasn't like every day you saw that.
Okay.
Right? So how does it feel waking up in the morning knowing that when your feet hit the ground, you going to operate your own company that you have invested years of your life in to build for your family? How does that feel, man? Because so myself, the company I work for, I created it. Right? And so it's something that I didn't have a vision to do. Right? It started from my family grocery store. And my family grocery store was the only business that I can remember my generation or my family ever owned. Right? And so we didn't have experience, but my mother and my sister and me wanted to start a store. And it's funny because when I lived in Overtown, I used to work in a store called Hintz and Sons, which is now Jackson Soul Food.
Oh, wow.
And the owner, Mr. Hintz, gave me a job delivering grocery and cleaning the store when I was about 10 years old, because he knew I was different from the other kids by the way I dressed, the way I talked, because I wasn't from Miami. I was from Georgia. So I guess to shield me, he gave me an opportunity because I was different. And he saw that I was being treated different. And I can remember going to the cash and carry one day with him, and I used to watch how the people that wasn't of color used to sign for their goods, and the people that was black had to pay cash.
Wow.
And I asked him one day, I asked him, I said, Ms. Hintz, why the black people give the money, but the other people sign the paper?
Sign the paper.
And he said to me, when you get older, you'll see how the world is. The world is not fair sometimes.
Yes.
And I had promised him that I was going to open a grocery store one day. And I promise you, I forgot about it. But look what happened. So I guess I spoke that into an existence. Not knowing that it was going to happen, and it ended up happening. And so I got a sense of feel how it is to have a family business and to create my own organization. But how you feel getting out of the bed every day, knowing that you're going to something that you built, that you and your family built.
So I would start, and like one of the things, like you said, when you started with the grocery store and working for Mr. Henson, I believe you was raised with some of those integrity that I was raised with. My grandmother, she was a custodian, and she used to tell me, Vernon, I don't care what you do, just be the best at what you do. and it always stuck in my mind. So if I was cleaning toilets, I'm going to make sure I clean toilets better than the next person next to me. If I'm, working out there, I want to try to see if I can do it better, or do it to my best ability, and saying that, which I know you probably don't know, but growing up, I wasn't when I say smartest, book smartest individual. I couldn't actually read till I was like 20-something years old.
So what make your story different than mine?
So I'm just saying,
I got the same kind of story you got.
Right. So with that said, your mindset is focused on, I have to make a way myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not doing it with my hands, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it for someone if it's not with my hands. I have to make a way. With that being said, that always been in my mind that if I'm going to do it, I have to go at it to make that path. Now, fast forwarding, a lot of people think because you own your own business, it's like, oh, wow, you got it made. It's good. No. It's not an 8 and you out the gate. I used to tell my wife, I work 24 hours. So my mind is always focusing,
always racing, right?
Always trying to figure out what I got to do, how to stay on top of everything. Right. It's like, it's never a rest, I mean, now I thank goodness for the support group that I have now. But even with that said, I'm always trying to stay on top of how everything is going to be kept together, saying that, I don't pick up this pat on the shoulder of pride. I just thankful that I'm being provided for, that I'm able to provide for families, that I'm able to provide jobs. I'm able to actually make a difference in the community. I'm able to show something different from the individuals that may see me. You follow me? So who might been stuck in a situation like me, or known the situation I was in, and say, if he could do it, I know I can do it, and those are some of the aspirations and inspirations that I try to set forth. So I'm very thankful that the Lord still using me as a purpose. They're still using me as a beacon, but I try to stay away from that prideful situation, but I am very humble to the sense, thank you, Lord, for using me, and that's kind of sort of, and more important, I'm more focused for the kids these days, making sure my kids that I'm speaking of now, making sure that they actually have the right example. They can do whatever they want as far as in, whatever their heart desire.
But you want to show them.
But I want to show them, whatever you do, let's do it full force. Yeah. Let's not go in halfway. Let's not play around. Individual asked my son one time. They say, you work so hard because you had both parents in the household, and he was like, no, I work hard because my mother and my father showed me what hard work looks like. My wife, she's actually a doctor. She's an assistant principal, and she actually goes out and she's, she works at the police department. So she almost like a Jamaican. She got plenty of jobs too.
She got 12 jobs, man.
Yeah, man. But so that's how I feel. We getting it.
So I'm happy and proud to see that you made it work.
Yes, sir.
Oftentimes people have an ideal and they go into it, and sometimes something will happen and they have a change of heart, a change of mind. Right. And although it was their dream, they don't live it out, So I'm not unique, but it's good to see somebody who took the time to want to explore something, and it became something that's a livelihood, for not only you and your family, but for other families as well. Yeah. So, I mean, that comes with dedication. And, oftentimes people, when they go in business, the intent that they go in is always about the money, how much money they can make.
Mm-hmm.
But and those people who go in it just for the money and not because that's where they're hard at,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as something happens that they don't understand, then they abandon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but if it's something you love doing,
Mm-hmm.
even if it don't work the way you want it to work every day,
Mm-hmm.
you most likely you'll stick it out because you love it.
You love it.
You know, and you can tell, I'm gonna tell you what I think when you can tell you doing what your heart is destined for.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't wait to go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
to get up in the morning to do it,
Mm-hmm.
then you're in the right field.
Right.
That means that no matter how it goes,
Right.
you're going to stick it out
Yeah.
to the bitter end.
Right.
And usually when you do that, it's going to work.
Yeah.
If you can't wait to go to sleep like me,
Yeah.
man, I love what I do so much.
Right.
I can't wait to the next
To
day
the next
because
day.
I love it so much,
What's the
man.
next adventure?
Man, I love it that much. So I know, although I had no idea, no clue I was going to end up doing this.
Right. Right.
But that's how God works.
That's how God works.
Yeah, man,
and that's
amazing.
it's profound that you say that because I didn't even know anything about the business. What do you mean? So saying that that was just a whole world that opened up, and to be able to see a purpose on what I can that I can, make a mark in this world with. It was just something that I jumped in feet first, you know what I'm saying? And I was very happy that I was able to show my grandmother, because my grandmother kind of raised me that, hey, Mama, I got to.
She watch you do it.
Mama, I got something I'm doing now,
Mm-hmm.
Mama, you know what I'm saying? And, and I appreciate her so much,
That's good, man.
It, yeah.
That's good. So you do these underground fiber optic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You do housing. Is anything else you into?
Well, with doing housing, I actually found a passion and a purpose to be able to do low income housing.
Okay.
So I teamed up with a group, a nonprofit here, and they actually allowed me. They entrusted me to build a few nonprofit homes for them, and man, to see these people who purchased these homes at the time when it's finished, it kind of like, I just love to see that the happiness on their face, and it's even though trust me, they hire me to build it for them, and I have to choose, and that's part of why I like doing it, because I kind of like to put quality stuff in. I'm putting, as far as in cabinets, I'm putting plywood in there. I'm putting quartz or granite tops. I'm trying to give them different, like lately I've gotten into putting designs on the wall, of the homes, and it looks expensive, but it's just cheap. It's I ain't gonna say cheap, it's inexpensive. It just takes creativity,
Okay.
and saying that the driveway, most people just pour a regular driveway. We get in there and try to do the square driveways and put the grass in the
middle.
driveway,
Right.
And we just do a little
That's
extra.
that new thing now.
Yeah,
like everybody,
and we try to do a little extra. So it is something that I kind of, I believe I feel like I'm cheating because I think I'm getting more out of it than they are, because I'm happy to see that I'm able to do something and give back, on top of me, I'm part of a nonprofit down here that we reach out and we, get involved with the young fellas in the neighborhood and try to talk to them, the circle of brotherhood. So that's another thing that I get involved in with that, So that's
So it's full circle. I tell you why it's full circle. It's funny you mentioned because about 19 or 20 years ago, Nana took over Tools for Change.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we took over Tools for Change.
That's amazing.
And you know what? It wasn't something we sought out to do.
Right.
When the executive director at the time was transitioning into another program or another company, the community and her stepped to me and asked Nana, would Nana be willing to take it over because it had been around so long and doing such great works that they didn't want it to just die out. And Nana took it over.
Wow, man, that's huge,
and,
man.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad to hear that, to know that the same program
See
I
that?
went through is still around
that?
helping others. You know, that is beautiful, man. That is really beautiful.
Mhm.
You guys still have that program over there?
So it's right there at the Dr. Dorothy Benjoff Minigal Socio-Economic Institute right now.
Yes. What's the address over there?
It's 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. If you're out the MapQuest, it's 33142.
Yes.
And so Mr. William Young.
Right. Okay. When I was there, we was on 7th Avenue.
In the bank.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's where we was at.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing, man. You see that?
Man, and that's man. I'm thankful, man, and that there's other people to be able to eat off of that same situation.
So, in closing, is there anything you wish I would have asked you that I didn't ask you that you want to share?
You know, Mr. Leroy, when you first told me you want me on the show, I was like, me? What I got to talk about? Why you want to talk to me? You know, so but saying that, man, you know, I'm just happy, you know, to actually be able to be around positive people. Like, you know, we were talking about businesses, and not only was my family into business, but by you having people in business, they know other people that's in businesses. So you have people that would be considered your uncle that's in business, like Ted Zulu, Mr. Rasul, and, you know, tons of other people that's in the community. So I personally would say all of these people that was in my community put an impression on me to allow me to be able to know how to conduct myself, not feel like everything has to be flashy and, you know, and just wasteful, but reserve and understand I have a team of other people behind me that I got to bring forward, you know, and that's the most.
So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining me on the show. Oh, wow. I would love to have you back because I know we got tons of other things we can talk about. And so until next time, audience, thank you for tuning in. I like to always thank the Miller brothers for allowing Neighbors and Neighbors Association this opportunity. Thank you.